Happy to be joined by one of the big winners this past weekend at UFC Paris. You saw the performance. You saw the post-fight interview. Happy to be joined by Bryan Battle. Bryan, how's it going, man?
It is going so well. You know what I'm saying? Life is good. We're still taking it day by day, but as of late, the days have been a little bit more interesting. So, we're just trying to navigate all that. But it's been a blessing. I'm so happy. You know what I mean?
When did you get back from Paris?
I got back late Monday night. Late Monday, like
okay.
Well, okay, wait. So I got back to the States around 5 o'clock, but then I got stuck in there. A lot of delays. All the planes that I didn't need delayed were delayed. The one plane that I needed to get delayed didn't get delayed. It was a
Nothing's ideal when you're traveling, especially abroad, right? It's always a nightmare. So,
but it was good. We got back. We're back home safe. So yesterday I got to chill with the kids, chill with the fam. Taught kids class. You know what I'm saying? Same thing today.
Oh, really? Look at you, dedicated. I like it.
We're back into it. I got kids class today. I'm gonna get back to training tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've already this. You can only spend so much time basking in the glow, and then it's like, okay, we gotta get back to work, get ready for the next one. You know what I mean?
Where does that win rank in terms of career highlights for you? Just everything, the finish, the post-fight speech, competing overseas, like that was a big thing too going into this. Where does this one rank for you?
Dude, man, it's because I would say this is, if not number one, Ultimate Fighter, that was huge. You know what I'm saying? Then fighting in Charlotte, that was another massive one. That was very, obviously it was on the opposite end of the spectrum as the one this past weekend because I was a hometown guy there, but that was another arena show. The crowd was going crazy. Another spectacular ending to the fight. But this one, what I'll say about that, this was the most fun I had. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of fun this fight. Just between everything leading up to the fight and then the crowd, the energy was amazing. The fight was a lot of fun. Me and Kevin, we really went out there and duped it out. So a lot of respect to him. So if I'm gonna have to take a little while. Right now I got a little recency bias, so I don't know if this is like the number one, but it's definitely top three. And I can definitely say that was the most fun I ever had. You know what I mean? Getting stuff. There's nothing like having stuff thrown at you when they're taking you from the cage.
Yeah, that's a whole level of enemy territory that I'm sure you find in people's backyards, but this was I'm sure totally different. One thing I wanted to ask you about because Brendan Allen had mentioned prior to the fight that there was some weird stuff going on with the weigh-ins and blood samples and all that. Did you have any of that weird stuff happen, or were things business as usual,
bro?
Okay, this is why I'm asking.
Yeah. They were trying to collect the urine samples right after we got off the scale. You know what I'm saying? Like, because normally, you weigh in, you get off the scale, you rehydrate, you got to see the doctor, then you go back and you just focus on rehydrating. I went and saw the doctor, so I'm walking back, about to go back to my room, and they're like, wait. You've been randomly selected. They randomly selected people. Now, granted, with the random selections, there was 9 French fighters. 1 French fighter got randomly selected. You know what I'm saying? I know Moyo Kano got selected. You know what I'm saying? Out of the 4 American fighters, 3 of us got selected. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever, right? But the blood sample wasn't a big deal to me, right? Because you can always get blood. You know what I'm saying, right? Like if I'm alive, if I'm breathing, right? You know what I'm saying? You can get blood. The young. Oh, we good? It's like
Sorry, you cut out for a second. You were just about to say the blood was fine, the urine. Then you were going to go on say something about that.
Yeah, the urine was the urine at that moment was crazy because we just weighed in. Like I am as dehydrated as I'm. Like there's no way I'm gonna give you 90, and then it's like that's not gonna happen for a while. Like every bit of fluid I put into my body's gonna reabsorb. So it's like if they were trying to hold us in the back until we peed a certain amount so they could test us for diuretics. But fortunately the UFC stepped in because it was like, I would have been back there all day. I would have missed the ceremonial weigh-ins. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how long it was taking my body to like have that much fluid to actually pee out. So it was a trip for sure, for sure. But
Okay.
you know, whatever, right?
But you got the win. You got the win, and again, a very entertaining fight. Finish over a really tough opponent. We talked about this going in. Obviously, a city kickboxing guy. How did the fight play out? How you thought it would? Did it play out kind of the way you thought it would?
The only thing is, I really wanted to get the takedown. And he was, now what I will say about that is I felt like he was defending the takedowns harder than I was going for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was shooting, but I felt like he really, really did not want me to take him down. And I will say too is and I don't know why, I was like, I bet his black belt in judo isn't legit. Like, I was like, I bet it's like a BS black belt in judo. Nah, it wasn't BS. That judo black belt was 100% legit. He definitely threw me on my head a couple times. So, yeah, no, it was, so his takedown defense was a little bit better. Now, granted, I didn't set up the takedowns very well. You know what I'm saying? I kind of was like rushing and forcing it, but, besides that, but with that being said, as I was going for him, I knew it was a win-win situation. Like, even if I didn't get the takedown, he was blowing his wad so much defending it that I knew it was like, okay, well, even if I don't get this takedown, he's going to be more tired from these exchanges regardless. So, it paid off in the end, got some knees to the body that really helped soften him up to lead to the headshots at the finish. But, now he was good. I felt like he was going to have a really good chin just because I was like, you haven't seen him actually hurt a whole lot in a lot of his fights. He never been finished before. And so I will say, I figured he was going to have a good chin, but there was like, in the first round, I caught him with a couple right hands that he just kind of like ate. And I was like, okay, big dog, I see you. This is going to take a couple. Like, you're going to make me have to hit you a couple times. But nothing really too crazy. I knew I was going to get him out of there by the end of the second regardless. But he was a tough dude. He was really good. Like, that was a fun fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes two to tango. And I felt like that helped with the post fight, is just that we had such a good fight and that he did offer so much resistance that, when the finish did come, it was very dramatic. You know what I mean?
The post-fight interview, was that all off the cuff, or did you plan some of that ahead of time? I was curious.
No, that was totally, I shouldn't say totally off the cuff. Like, I knew they were going to boo me and I had something in my mind. But it's like, I definitely wanted to end on the like positive, inspirational note. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking in my head, I was like, I can convert them by the end of my speech. And then as soon as, because it's like something you don't appreciate. It's like they're booing while Michael's talking. They're booing while the translator's talking. But as soon as I get the mic, the volume of the boos just goes crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I was like, okay, all right. I'm not even really going to be able to talk very much. Like, I was like, this whole big grand speech out the window. I was like, let me just like get a couple lines in. You know what I'm saying? Talk a little shit. And, they didn't even let me keep on talking after I said I would lose in a fist fight to a French dude. They didn't let the translator say that. They were just like, okay, it's time to go. We got to get out of here. You know what I mean? So, it was a good time. But to answer the question, yeah, that was really more or less off the cuff. It was just kind of reading the energy of the crowd and just kind of playing along with how they viewed me. You know what I'm saying?
What's been the feedback like? Because a lot of people loved it, and then I'm sure if you were maybe a French fan, maybe you didn't like it. What like just on social media and everything? What have you noticed from that since the fight?
Well, here's what I'll say to the French fans. People are roasting France right now, but the French fans are actually like face to face. They were really cool. You know what I'm saying? Even after the fight, even after I said all that, when I was walking the streets, people would come up to me. They're like, "Hey, great fight." You know what I'm saying? Loved watching you, hope like I'll be following you. You know what I'm saying? They were all really, really cool. Before and afterwards, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally as soon as I get through the tunnel, they're throwing stuff at me, till I get to the tunnel. But literally, as soon as I get through the tunnel, there's like a couple of French dudes who are working there, like, great fight. Can we take a picture? And I was like, yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was going to be like hostile for the rest of my trip. It was not. On social media, like it's funny because people are calling it like a heel turn, right? You know what I'm saying? My villain origin story, but it was like no one has. It's like normally if you're the bad guy, there's people who don't like you. I haven't seen any negativity since. It's just like everyone is just everyone's just been a really big fan of it. So it's like I think people just appreciate the authenticity, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just, you know, appreciate me just having some personality, period. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's just one of those things, people stay so proper, and you know, just a little bit of personality will take you a long way.
And you get the bonus. What are you going to be doing with the money?
Nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? I got kids, man. You know what I'm saying? So, probably trying to lock down a house. You know what I'm saying? I gotta start looking at how to invest money and whatever. You know what I'm saying? All that responsible stuff people do with money and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to, you can take the boy out the broke. You can't take the broke out the boy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to talk to some people smarter than me. But yeah, no, nothing too crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like we're still, like I said, we're doing all the normal stuff. We're back to coaching, back to training, you know what I'm saying? Back to life as usual. And it once again, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm hot right now. And so it's like, I got this time, I got to really capitalize. I got to focus and capitalize and run it up as much as I can, because I won't be able to do this forever. So, I'm not necessarily looking for ways to get rid of money. I'm more so looking for ways to stack up money. You know what I'm saying?
With that said, do you want to get one more in this year? Or are you kind of looking more towards next year? I know it was a lot of travel and long camp and all that, but is the plan to get one more in?
Oh, I want to get one more in, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm really looking at, and I want to fight in front of a crowd. You know what I'm saying? I really got my eye on that UFC Tampa card. Like, I think that would be a lot of fun. But I'm not picky. You know what I'm saying? They give me a name, they give me a place. Before the end of the year, I'm there. So, but yes, I would like to get one more in. You feel me? Like now is the time. I want to fight as much as I can in these next 5 years to really capitalize on where I'm at physically and where I'll be for the next several years.
Is a ranked opponent next?
I mean, if they're not too scared to take the fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I think I'm more or less like a ranked caliber fighter at this moment. You know what I mean? So, you know, we'll see, but I'm not losing any sleep over it. You know, that used to be something I was a lot more pressed about. I was like, I want someone in the rankings. You know what I'm saying? I want to get start climbing the rankings, but you know, it's like I always look at, you know, someone like Sean O'Malley. He went from fighting unranked dudes to fighting the number one contender. You know what I'm saying? It's a number next to your name is good. Public opinion is more important. It's more valuable. You know what I'm saying? Perception is more valuable. So a number is good, but stacking up highlights will take you further. Stacking up highlights and having a long winning streak will take me wherever I want to go. So do I think it should be someone in the rankings? For sure, but I'm not too pressed about it. You know what I'm saying? I'll whoop anyone's ass.
Any names come to mind? I know some people want to see you and Neil Magny go at it. I know Magny just lost, but he's ranked and someone that, you know, seems to get these types of fights against up and comers.
Neil Magny, to me, that fight makes sense because he is like the gatekeeper to the rankings. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of one of those things. If you beat Neil, you're in the rankings. If you lose to Neil, then you're not worth being in the rankings. So that is a fight where as soon as I saw people starting to kind of put that together, it made sense to me. You know, once again, I mean, he seems kind of more or less like a guy who will fight anybody. So that would be fun. But, you know, like, if you're asking me who I want to fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to fight Joaquin. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be a great fight. I know he's fighting this weekend against Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy, yeah, that's right.
Wonder Boy, that's like a big brother to me. So it's tough because I don't want to see. I'm definitely rooting for Wonder Boy because he's literally like a big brother to me. But with that being said, I'm kind of jealous because I want to be the person to ruin Joaquin's streak. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the person to he's hot right now. I want to be the person to cool him off. But outside of that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like I just keep on saying the same thing over and over again. I'm not looking at anyone. I'm looking at everyone. So they can all get it. You know what I'm saying? 1 through 15. I mean, even if you're outside the rankings, like, it don't matter. Like, come get this smoke. Come catch this ass whooping. It doesn't matter who you are. So, yeah, man. Just staying busy. Period.
There's 2 fights that got booked from the last time you and I talked. Always got to get your thoughts on a couple upcoming fights. Just quickly, shout out to HKUSA. Use the code BANANA20 for 20% off. Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira. They booked the rematch. New York, UFC 309. Who's winning that?
Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira is going to win that for sure.
And John Jones and Stipe. Who's winning that?
John Jones. John Jones. I think Tom Aspinall versus John Jones is a lot more of an interesting fight, but John Jones versus Stipe, you can never count out Stipe, but it's been a long time since we've seen Stipe fight. Like, it's been a long time since we've seen Stipe fight. And it's just one of those things where he's just an older gentleman right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for me to even really consider this the real heavyweight title fight. You know what I'm saying? To me, Tom is like John is the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? John is a legend, but I think Tom Aspinall is the real heavyweight champion right now. So, but with all that being said, I got John winning that fight.
At the top of your division, we got Belal Muhammad. It looks like him and Shavkat is going to be the next fight. I think a lot of people want to see that. Who wins that if that does end up happening?
Man, I tell you what, I think that's a really interesting fight. Like Belal, like, you need to respect that dude. You know what I'm saying? You have to respect him, and you have to respect what he does. He puts a pace on people that dudes can't keep up with. So, and we haven't seen Shavkat off of his back yet. So, with that being said, physically speaking, oral wise, I'm saying Shavkat is, seems like just a physical tank. You know what I'm saying? He's got aura through the roof right now. He's looking to kill people. He's not looking to win fights. He's looking to, kill people in those fights. So I'm going with Shavkat because I just think it's more his time right now. Like, Belal got the title. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't be surprised at all if Belal won. You know what I mean? But I'm going to take Shavkat.
Are you keeping the blonde hair? We saw blonde Oliveira going quite the run. Seems like blonde battle is a thing too. I know you used to have the long hair. Is that staying for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, man, that's the thing now. You know what I'm saying? The blonde butcher. You know what I'm saying? I got to get it trimmed up a little bit. It's starting to get a little crazy, but yeah, no, that's just the vibe. I haven't lost since I went blonde, so we're gonna keep on doing it. The only bittersweet part about it is that people keep on like you just mentioned Charles Oliveira, like there's been, and it was funny leading up to this week. Periodically, this would happen. Someone would see me with the blonde hair and the tattoos, and I guess the skin complexion too. And someone would come up to me, and I thought they were gonna be like, "Are you Bryan Battle?" Because that happens a lot in Charlotte. But they would, instead of that, they'd be like, "Has anyone ever told you look just like Charles Oliveira?"
No, believe it or not.
they have no idea who I am. They're just like, "Has anyone ever told you look just like Charles Oliveira?" And I was just like, yeah, I've gotten that before. And then this week it just kicked into overdrive. It's like, as soon as I put the chain on, everyone was like, "Wow, you look just like Charles Oliveira." I was like, that's not what I was going for, but you know what? I guess that's not a bad thing either. You know what I'm saying? Charles Oliveira is a legend. So, we're going to have a fight to see who gets the trademark on tattoos and blonde hair. You know what I mean?
Last question. What do you got planned for the rest of the week? You mentioned you're back to business with classes. Do you get like a nice dinner out, or you got anything like, because I know a lot of times in camp you neglect things and you got to kind of go back and do the usual day-to-day stuff.
I am trying to take my sister's mom and my dad out for dinner on Friday just because they were
Nice.
such a big help. But I have a couple teammates fighting on Saturday, so I got that, but really besides the regular stuff, not too much. We're just trying to chill and reacclimate back to regular life and you know what I'm saying, get back to the grind. You know what I'm saying? Because um it only gets tougher from here. So, you know, the fights only get tougher, so I gotta get better.
And making time for interviews, Bryan. Really appreciate it, man. What a performance. UFC Paris. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors or social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
You know, follow your boy on Instagram, Bryan Battle 68. We just hit 100,000 followers. That was very humbling. That was crazy. Bryan Battle 10 on Twitter. Shout out to Iridium, Jason House, Jacob Praga, all those guys. They're great. Shout out to my home gym, Carolina Combat Sports, Coach Tom, all my training partners. Download the Sharps app if you do any kind of sports gambling. This isn't the app that you gamble on, it's the app that you post your bets on and you talk shit to other people posting bets, you know what I mean? So but yeah, man, no, thank you for having me again. And I know the next time we talk, that means that's good news for me. That means we got something to go on. So I can't wait till we talk again.